Play number 132 begins with my opponent in point and presence, and I'm in portiere larga. Here, I begin with throwing a falso, rising. And he says, for the sword or for the hand, but not much past guardia di faccia. And as soon as I do that, I pass back with my right foot, throwing a half mandrito, portiere larga. And without waiting, here I throw a reverso, returning my right foot forward into colunga larga. Now I'm here. He says, all exposed, uncovered, so that my opponent has a reason to attack me. So when he does, after all that, so that's an invitation, which I make by making a few actions here. Here I'm to step my left foot to my left side with my right foot following, striking his hand with a rising falso, going in the manner of sopra del braccio, meaning over my arm. So that part, this is a long, complex play, so we'll break it apart. Falso, not past here. He says actually not much past guardia di faccia, and then a half mandrito and a reverso down to here. So you see this rising falso can easily hit the hand, and that happens with me stepping my left foot, he says, sideways. So stepping your left foot sideways to your left, throwing this over your arm, and your right foot follows behind your left in the manner of sopra del braccio. Now, if I struck his arm, that would be very damaging and the fight would be over. But we're going to make the fight proceed, so my opponent will avoid that. So here, now in this position, he's going to attack me. In this case, we'll make it a reverso. Here, I'll throw a reverso at his hand, and here, Anonimo says, escape your right foot backward. So, well, my right foot was already behind my left, so I throw my right foot backward, and this is a reverso. I'm striking to his hand, and that's going to go all the way down into larga. So, from the beginning to here, here, across over here, back to here. So I throw this reverso at his hand all the way down. So again, if that hits him, the fight could very well be over, probably would be. So we're going to have him survive that as well. So here's how. I provoke an invitation by becoming exposed here, throw this way, he avoids that. Here, you see what he did right there. When he threw the reverso at me, if he means to strike me, he's extending himself, and when I scoot my right foot back, I can hit his hand. But when he sees me move, he changes and guards himself using his true edge and stops that. Now, I go all the way through to larga. Now, when I do, I go right away again for that hand with a falso. If he's right there in colunga alta, I try to hit that right there, throwing a falso, and he says advancing my left foot somewhat. So this, and I go again over my arm in the manner of sopra del braccio. So again, to have the play proceed, we see him escape out of that. Now he's ready to strike me. Here, I hit it. I actually defend myself with my false edge, passing my right foot forward. But he says don't go past guardia di faccia. Here, I'm not in guardia di faccia. I'd be hitting him. He doesn't say that. I defend with my false edge, not past guardia di faccia, and I throw a mandrito right through his face and his arm all the way down to larga. Now I could do this, but if I threw the falso, but I didn't go past guardia di faccia, why would he not have told me to parry and go up into guardia alta and then throw my mandrito down? That would make some sense, and he says that sometimes. So if I have to parry and I have to not go past guardia di faccia, but now I've got to follow that with a mandrito, I make it that kind of very powerful mandrito, fully developed over my head. And that's all the way down through larga, goes through his face and his arm. And that's 132. Here it is again without talking. Slow motion again. Here, throw this, back off trying to hit that hand. Again, try to hit the hand, but go forward. Here, stop that and throw the mandrito.
All right, starting in point and presence. To make it easy, I like to be in portiere. It's a familiar guard, and it gives them a nice target to hit this sword. with their false edge. There, I don't care. The minute that blade goes past, with him settling into Codalunga Larga, I'm going to provoke my own attack with the semblance of a Mandrita. I'm going to pull this out of the way because I know a falso or something in that manner is coming at me. Here, I can very quickly turn a reverso, stepping with a passing step forward. Here, he's going to go for my hand, so I have to abandon my attack and cover going into Codalunga Alta here. Now, as this falso comes in towards that hand, I just want to get it out of the way. So I'm drawing back into Guardia Alta, and then here I can very quickly put a Vendente to the top of his head. However, he can then finish me. So.